Hey guys, what's up? It's Jenna. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different, a little bit fun. I've wanted to do this for a while now, but I've only just now managed to compile a list that I am proud of to share with you guys. So you're probably wondering what I am talking about. But basically today, what I am doing is bookish dreamcasting. If you're unfamiliar with the term, it's basically taking a character from a book and assigning an actor or actress to that character. It could be somebody that you would really love to play that character in an adaptation, or it's kind of who you were picturing the character looking like as you were reading the book, if that makes sense. So I have a list of, I think there's 19, I don't even remember how many. I have several people and characters on my list that I would like to share with you guys. So I figured I would just get started. So for the character of Celia Bowen, she is one of the main protagonists in the book The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I picture Emmy Rossum as Celia Bowen. As I was reading the book, I was listening to the audiobook as well. I just feel like Emmy Rossum looks like how Celia should look. I remember in the book she's described as having dark curly hair, and I know Emmy Rossum naturally has dark curly hair. I instantly just thought of her in her role as Christine in Phantom of the Opera, and I think The Night Circus takes place around the same time as the Phantom of the Opera movie did, like the early 1900s or late 1800s. So I picture kind of Christine Emmy Rossum as Celia Bowen. The next character that I want to cast is the Lady Door from Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. So I picture Ali Sheedy, specifically in her role as Allison from The Breakfast Club, as Door. The whole time that I was reading the book, all I could picture was Allison from The Breakfast Club. So Door is described as being small with short, kind of crazy hair, and her clothes are kind of mismatched and generally kind of shabby. And I just pictured Allison. So I know that the actor, Ali Sheedy, I'm not sure how old she is now, so I don't think she'd be able to actually play Door in an adaptation or anything like that, but that's just who I pictured. Next up is Cora from the Underground Railroad. I picture Kerry Washington as Cora. I think she would just be the perfect Cora. I think she looks like her, and she has such like fire and spunk to be able to play her accurately. I just think those two, Cora and Kerry Washington, they're just one and the same in my opinion, and I pictured Kerry Washington as Cora the whole time that I was reading it. Next up, I have Nimona from the graphic novel series, and I picture Mae Whitman as being Nimona. So Mae Whitman, you might know her from Parenthood. She's also the voice of Tinkerbell in all the Tinkerbell movies, and she was also in the movie The Duff, which was a movie adaptation of the book The Duff by Cody Keplinger, I believe. Did not care for the book at all, but I did think the movie was pretty funny. I think Mae Whitman could play Nimona perfectly. She's small and she's feisty, and she could just bring a lot to that character. So even though Nimona is a graphic novel, you have a visual representation of what the character looks like in front of you as you're reading it. If Nimona were to be adapted into a movie or a TV show or whatever, I think Mae Whitman would be an awesome Nimona. Next up, we have Agnes from Burial Rites, the main character in Burial Rites. I think Anne Hathaway could play a mean Agnes. I think she would do so well. So the whole time that I was reading Burial Rites, I was picturing Anne Hathaway. And I think, like specifically because of what she did with her role as what was her name? Fantine from, isn't that how you pronounce it? Fantine from Les Mis. I just think, I don't know, I just picture her as Agnes. So that's Agnes. Next up, I have a couple of characters from the world of Sarah J. Maas. So if you're not a fan, just bear with me. So I think that Rhysand would be perfectly played by Ian Somerhalder from The Vampire Diaries, or Matthew Daddario from the Shadowhunters TV show. So I watched The Vampire Diaries years ago. I mean, years ago. I really liked it. I never got around to finishing it. It's not really my thing anymore. But the whole time that I was reading A Court of Thorns and whatever, that whole series, I pictured Ian Somerhalder. And then whenever I was looking up like fan art for the world, because I like doing that specifically with Sarah J. Maas and her books, everybody kept posting pictures of Matthew Daddario with like wings, and I was like, oh, he would be really, really good as Rhysand too. So he actually plays Alec, I think, on the Shadowhunters show, which I've only seen a couple of episodes. I didn't really care for it that much, but I think he would be a perfect Rhysand as well. So for Feyre, I'm kind of cheating with this one. I'm not being really original, because I was purposefully typing into Google A Court of Thorns and Roses or A Court of Mist and Fury Fancasting or Dreamcasting, and somebody posted a picture of this girl, and her name is Jenna Mulder. I don't know anything about her. I think she's a model. Maybe she's done a couple of like small films. I didn't really do much research, but I saw this girl and I thought she would be an absolutely perfect Feyre whenever I just looked at her. I don't know anything about her, never seen her act or anything. I don't even know if she's good, but just going by appearance, she would be the perfect Feyre in my opinion. So next up, we've got another character from A Court of Thorns and Roses, Lucian. I think that Simon Woods would be perfect as Lucian. So he's got the red hair, and I forget where I know him from, because as I was looking up his name and like writing it down in my notes here, I kind of forgot where I knew him from, but I do recognize him from somewhere. Anyway, I think he would be a perfect Lucian, mainly because of the red hair. And then we have Yael from the Wolf by Wolf duology. I think that Phoebe Tonkin would be perfect as Yael. Again, just going by appearances. Phoebe is a little bit older than Yael. That's like as the character is described in the books, so I don't think she could actually play her accurately because she looks a lot older. But basically, Phoebe Tonkin she's also from The Vampire Diaries, and I think she was also on the show The Originals as well. I just think she has like this mysterious air about her, and I think she could just play Yael so perfectly, at least by appearances. So next two characters are actually from The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and I think that Skander Keynes, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was Edmund on in the Chronicles of Narnia movies. I think he would be an amazing Kvothe, or Kvothe, however you say it, in The Name of the Wind. So he doesn't really look like him. Kvothe is described as having like this auburn red hair, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long time since I've read the book. But I just think he could just play him so well as like a young Kvothe, as he, like during the flashbacks and all that. And then Ari, I think Ivana Lynch, who plays Luna Lovegood in the Harry Potter films, I think she could do an excellent Ari. And as I was reading, I could not help but picture her and her mass of light blonde hair. So next up, I have a character from the Lunar Chronicles, and that's Queen Levana. I think that Charlize Theron or Liv Tyler could play a mean Queen Levana. So just going by appearances, I think Liv Tyler would definitely fit that role. But for the actual evil queen, I mean, Charlize Theron has already done it with the Snow White and the Huntsman movie series. So she probably, if the role ever came about, if there's ever an adaptation, I don't think she would go for it because she's pretty much already done the character. But that's who I was picturing as I was reading it, because, I mean, she already is pretty much the evil queen. And then I have another character from the Lunar Chronicles, Winter. I think that Amanda Stenberg from The Hunger Games and also Everything, I think she would be an amazing Winter. So in my opinion, she's not like the best actress, but appearance-wise, I think she's gorgeous, and I think she fits the description of Winter perfectly. So I don't know if I would choose her like based on her acting ability, because again, I mean, I think she's gorgeous and she was the perfect Rue, but in Everything, I didn't think that she was absolutely amazing. But just by appearances, I think she would be a great Winter. So next up, I have 2 characters from Throne of Glass. I have Selena, and this is the Dreamcast that I am most excited about, and I am sticking with it, and I will fight for this. I think that Lily James from Cinderella, from Downton Abbey, from Pride and Prejudice and Zombies would be perfect as Selena Sardathian / well, I'm not going to say her other name because that's going to be spoilers if you haven't read Throne of Glass, but I think she would be flippin-tastic as Selena. I think she would be just perfect. Appearance-wise, she's an incredible actress. She could be girly and sweet, but she can be conniving and ruthless as well. I think she would be absolutely fantastic as Selena. And then my other character from Throne of Glass, Chaol, I think that Theo James would be perfect as Chaol. So he's from Divergent, he plays 4, and he was also in Downton Abbey, small role in the first season, I think, or the second season. But I think he would be perfect as Chaol. That's who I pictured the entire time that I was reading the series. I didn't picture Lily James as Selena whenever I was reading the books, but at least not at first. But then I kept thinking about her and how she'd just be absolutely perfect if they did an adaptation, which actually they are going to do. They are coming up with a TV show eventually. But I doubt that Lily James will be cast as Selena. But if I was the director, I would totally cast her. And then finally, the last character that I have to cast is Kaz Brekker from Six of Crows. So the actor that I picked to play Kaz is way older than Kaz in the books. I think he's like 17 or 18. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've read it. But I think that Colin Farrell looks like Kaz in my mind. Like a young Colin Farrell. I just picture that when I'm reading Six of Crows, or when I read Six of Crows like last year, I think. Or was it this year? I'm losing track of time. But anyway, that was the last fan cast that I wanted to share with you guys. I would love to know your thoughts on any of these. I tried to provide a range of characters. Some may be a little bit obscure, some not. So if you agree or disagree with any of my opinions as to what I think these characters should look like, or who I think should play them in an adaptation, I would love to know your thoughts. And if you want to do this with some of your favorite bookish characters, please, please do. I would absolutely love to see more videos like this, because I love hearing and seeing what other readers think that their favorite characters look like, and how we kind of see things differently as we're reading about them in the books themselves. So totally do this if you want to. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with in the comments. Just let me know what you think. I love doing this. This is like one of the nerdy bookish things that I love doing when I'm reading. So I just want to hear what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more bookish content from me, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.